It's a lot more food than I thought. All right, I'm one thing down. I'm feeling pretty full. Welcome back to the channel. This is the 10,000 calorie challenge video that I epically failed. It's over. I quit. White flagged it. It was a disaster. This is probably the single worst attempt at the 10,000 calorie challenge ever posted on the internet. And as I was doing it, as I could feel myself being like, I think I'm gonna quit, I was like, do I wanna share this? Do I wanna put it online? Because it's pretty embarrassing. What do we say? As you know, I'm in the middle of my 90-day fat loss challenge. I'm being fully transparent. Everything I'm good at, I'm telling you, and everything I suck at, I'm telling you. And this whole 10,000 calorie challenge, the whole purpose was to show you that if you're trying to lose fat and if you're struggling with fat loss, you can eat a ton of calories, you can have a bad day or even a bad week and still be fine and still get back on track. And even though I didn't hit 10,000 calories, you're gonna see how many I did eat, which was a fair amount of pretty shitty food, and I'm still back on track. So I wanna talk about that. Now, I'm gonna split this video into 3 parts. I failed, why I failed, my strategy going into it so you can get a better understanding of that, your takeaways from this video, especially if you're trying to lose fat, and then from there, a bigger, more important talk on binge eating, especially if you struggle with binge eating, or maybe someone you know struggles with binge eating. I wanna talk about that. That is this video. If you don't yet subscribe to the channel, don't subscribe if you don't like the video, but if you do subscribe, definitely do. If you do like it, please subscribe. And if you like the video, thumbs up it, leave a comment below. I don't really know what to tell you to comment, but I see a lot of YouTubers saying, hey, leave a comment below, and they always have something really like smart to say. I don't know what to tell you to comment, but leave a comment. I really appreciate it. And that's that, so let's get into the video. Going into the challenge, I was way overconfident. It was super fun, calculating how many calories were gonna be in it, getting all the foods lined up. It was like really exciting in a very weird way. Got a pretty big order. 5 croissants, 5 glazed donuts. I'll take 6 then. 4 jelly donuts, 5 French crullers, 2 coffee rolls, 1 blueberry muffin, 1 coffee cake, and 1 cone. Am I literally just counting? Yeah. Hey Siri, what's 1,700 plus 1,300 plus 1,120 plus 1,100 plus 1030 plus 460 plus 590 plus 460 plus 120 plus 840 plus 390?
1,700 plus 1,300 plus 1,120 plus 840 plus 390 is 10,110.
Well, we've got some eating to do. Decided to only go with Dunkin' Donuts. In my mind, I thought that the donuts were super light. They were gonna be very easy. Went shopping with Rico, who's sitting behind the camera right now, to get all the stuff. It was really fun, and I could see why people like to do this. I could see why people like to do this on a consistent basis. I could see why people like posting about it, got a lot of engagement from it. And really, 10,000 calorie challenges are to get views, to get more people to subscribe to your channel. There's really not much benefit from it. For whatever reason, people like watching people eat a lot of food, which is probably why you're watching this right now. And that's why I wanted to make this challenge in the beginning. But then I realized that showing people that you can eat a lot of calories and go way overboard and still get back on track really became the sum and substance of why I wanted to do it. That being said, I really thought it was gonna be easy. I mean, Rico and I were going back and forth. Rico was razzing me saying, I don't think you could do it. He was right, I couldn't do it. But going into it, after we got all the food, after we got it all on the table, ordered it all, my strategy was, I'm gonna finish this in under 3 hours. I feel like this could be done under 3 hours. And even in my head, I was like, I think I could finish this in under an hour, because looking at it, it didn't look like a lot of food. It didn't seem like an overwhelming amount. So in my mind, I know a lot of people do 10,000 calorie challenges in 24 hours, but I was like, I'll just do it in under 3 and get it over with. So that was sort of my mindset, and that sort of led into why I failed. Basically, I think it was about the 30-minute mark, about 30 minutes in, I started to feel just awful, like really bad.
There's no like right way to approach this.
Don't tell me that, Rico.
I'm sorry. that's why I don't want.
How in the fuck is this supposed to fit in one person's stomach? Right? I'm gonna tell you something. I severely underestimated the difficulty of this challenge. I also think It is terrible. It wasn't to the point where I was gonna throw up, but I just didn't feel good. And that's really the most important part for me to emphasize. I could like feel myself like starting to sweat a little bit. I like didn't feel right mentally. It was just a lot of sugar, a lot of food really fast. And basically what it came down to was I could either stop right now because I don't feel good, or I need to power through and eat an outrageously uncomfortable, unhealthy amount of food because I've said online I was going to do it. And the way that I sort of started to play this in my head was if a client came to me and said, hey, I'm going to this party and all the people at the party have been saying, oh, come on, just eat this food. Oh, come on, you can have this. Oh, come on, like stop, like you can have a treat now. I wouldn't say just give in to what they're saying just because they want you to. I would say listen to your gut. Do what feels best for you. If you want to, do it. If you don't want to, don't do it. Either way, it's okay, but you have to do what's right for you. And so I started to think it would be very hypocritical of me to push through this massive discomfort, this thing that would make me continue to make me feel awful for the rest of the day, maybe the whole week, rather than just listen to my body and stop. That's what I did. I stopped eating not because of any other reason than I knew that if I extended it for 24 hours, maybe I could have done it, but I wouldn't feel good about it. And there's just no reason to force yourself into any position for the benefit of other people if you don't feel good about it first. I think that's really the most important part. In terms of being able to give the most of yourself, you have to be able to do what's right for you. So that's why I stopped, and I hope you can understand that. All right, so what I want to emphasize now is this part, this one right here. By the way, I like using the whiteboard. I feel like it makes the videos better. If you like the whiteboard videos, comment below. I wasn't planning on using it, but I just like using it. Anyway, your major takeaway, the whole point of this challenge, me failing, all this stuff, was because of this. A lot of people, and when I say a lot, I mean literally thousands and thousands and thousands of people message me. I binged, I ruined everything. I went out to a party, I had some cake, I ruined everything. I'm on this diet. I went on vacation and I lost everything. I ruined everything. I can't, and like, this is what people message me, and this is what people feel like when they're trying to lose weight, when they have a bad day or an off day or they eat too many calories. They feel like they ruined everything. And the whole point was for me to eat, I wanted to eat 10,000 calories, clearly didn't, but I ate several thousand calories of a lot of junk food. A lot of food that I wouldn't normally eat, especially in that amount. I had, okay, so one croissant at 340, one glazed donut, one French cruller, one bacon, egg, and cheese, bunch of hash browns. Oh, and we got 8 orders of hash browns, and they put them into 3. And I've almost had this one whole thing. I'm well over 2,000.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know.
These are actually really good. I wanted to show you that as long as I got right back on track, you can still make progress. You didn't screw anything up. That was the whole point of this. Now, keep in mind, when I say get back on track, I don't mean fast. I don't mean restrict. I don't mean not eat. I mean get back on track with what you've been doing. Eat exactly as you should be. It doesn't mean just water fast for a week. It doesn't mean don't eat the next day. It means just get back on track. So if you actually go through my Instagram stories and my daily weight highlight, you'll see what happened. The day of the 10,000 calorie challenge, before it started, I weighed 144 point something. I forget the actual amount, but it's on my Instagram. It's all there. 144 point something. After the 10,000 calorie challenge, I went up to 149. Several days later, today, 141. And first and foremost, we all know weight doesn't mean, it's not the end all be all. Your weight, number one, is just, it's a data point. It doesn't tell exactly how much fat you have. It doesn't tell how, it just tells you how much you weigh. How much is in your stomach, water, glycogen, whatever. Actually, in the description of this video, I'm gonna put a link to my weight fluctuation video, the science of weight fluctuations. It basically explains the 3 most common fluctuation patterns so you know which one you fall into. But we know the scale doesn't tell us the truth about how much fat we have or how much fat we've gained or how much fat we've lost. But a lot of people get very emotionally attached to the scale. If it goes down, they get happy. And if it goes up, they get sad. Their entire day is run by that. The whole point of what would happen is a lot of people, if they go out and they have birthday cake or they have pizza or they have ice cream or whatever, and they see that their scale fluctuates up, I'm done. I fucked up. I quit. What's the point? I ruined everything. And then what they do is they keep doing it. They keep screwing up. They don't get back on track. And in reality, this was on Thursday, this was on Friday, this is on Tuesday. Thursday, Friday, Tuesday. It's like 5 days. And what most people do is on that day, they would have been so discouraged and think, I gained 5 pounds of fat. I gained so much weight. What's the point? And the point is, your takeaway is, as long as you get back on track, you can't fuck this up. Period, end of story. As long as you do not just say, I give up, and go on a massive binge, and let that binge take another day, which then takes another week, which then takes another month. As long as you get back on track, you will succeed. Period, end of story. That's what I want you to take from this video. That's what I want you to take from this challenge. Did I get 10,000 calories? No. Did I eat several thousand calories of junk food? Yes. And I got back on track. I didn't fast. Actually, the next day I had a lot of rice. Ate normally, didn't restrict, but I did get back on track. Eat the right amount of calories, eat the right amount of protein. That's that. That's all it takes. Success does not come from rigidity. Success comes from consistency. And that's why most people never achieve their goals. Because at the slightest sign of progress not going the way they want, they give up. And even though you know in your heart and in your mind that progress isn't going to be linear in either direction, you tend to give up when it shows you one data point, one point in which it doesn't go the way you want. And you need to stop that. You need to stop letting the highs get you so high and the lows get you so low, and just stay consistent. And as long as you stay consistent, you will win. And that is the point. This right here is the whole point of me spending 50 bucks at Dunkin' Donuts, eating way too many donuts and apple fritters and all this other nonsense, and going through all that just so you can really understand this. The next time you have a day that wasn't your best, just get back on track. You didn't screw up. So before we get into this binge eating section, if you're enjoying the video, if you're finding it helpful, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you don't already. Make sure you hit the bell to get notified when the next video comes out, and tell me in the comment section what part of this video has really been most helpful for you. Getting into binge eating, I want to preface by saying I don't have a script for this. I don't know where this is going, but it's a very emotional topic for me. Yes, because I work with a lot of people who struggle with binge eating in the inner circle, one-on-one clients, but also because, and you might not know this, if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen me write about it. I used to struggle with binge eating a lot. Over a decade ago now, I grew up as a wrestler, wrestled from 8 years old all the way through high school. I very much remember when I was wrestling in youth wrestling, hearing about what the high schoolers were doing when they were cutting weight. They used to call it sucking weight, in which in order to lose weight, they would take ice cubes and suck on them rather than actually eating. It's like what they would do in order to not gain too much weight from the water, because if you drink a bottle of water, you gain a pound, right? So as they're trying to lose weight, they would suck on ice cubes to quench their thirst rather than drinking a bottle of water. And my mom, I remember her saying in the car, she was like, please don't do that. Like, please, when you get to high school, don't do that. And I remember saying, Mom, why would I do that? It sounds awful. As I went through and as I made varsity as a freshman, and as I saw like a lot of the team depending on me in order to wrestle, I did it. I did awful stuff. I had serious anorexia. I had bulimia a little bit. It wasn't severe. I didn't have to go for any help. I did do that stuff, and I had serious binge eating issues. This is a pretty emotional topic for me because I see so many people struggling with it. What you'll notice, and I said it in this section, was in my mind, I thought I was gonna be able to finish this 10,000 calorie challenge in 3 hours or less. And I realized, sort of thinking on it, that the reason I thought that was because when I struggled with binge eating, when I was in high school and wrestling, I could eat thousands and thousands and thousands of calories, no problem. And I would get really uncomfortable, and I would have a big food baby, but I would still eat. And not because I even wanted to, but because like I felt compelled to. It was just like an urge I couldn't stop. And my memory of doing that is why I thought I could eat 10,000 calories, no problem. Even though now, I haven't struggled with binge eating in a decade. I have a very healthy relationship with food. I'm very fortunate and blessed, and I worked very hard on it. But that's why I thought I could. And it's important for me to bring this up. As difficult as it is, it's important because a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, struggle with binge eating. And it's one of those things that very few people come out and be like, yeah, I binge eat. I binge. I wait until people are asleep at night, and then I go in my kitchen and binge. Or, actually, one of my best friends, I'm not gonna say his name because he didn't give me permission to this, but one of my best friends who grew up with from the time I was a really young kid, when he moved to a new city, one of the things he would do is he lived in an apartment with a bunch of people, and he didn't want to binge in front of these other people. So what he would do is late at night, when he could have just went to the kitchen and when in his own home, he would actually go out and buy a bunch of food, a bunch of ice cream, a bunch of bagels, and go on the train alone and eat all this massive food by himself, and then go home. And then he'd sleep, and the next day he'd exercise for hours. For hours and hours and hours and hours. And he repeated the cycle over and over and over again, binging and binging and binging and binging. But no one knew. It's not like he told anyone. And this is what happens to so many people. So many people struggle with binge eating, but they don't say it. They keep it in. And you could look at someone, you could see, oh wow, you're pretty fit. Like you're clearly, you work out, you exercise, you must not know what it's like to binge eat. Someone's even said that to me before. Someone recently, I put out something on binge eating and someone was like, this would be great, but you don't struggle with binge eating. You don't know it. You don't know anything about this. It's like, first and foremost, I've actually spoken about it before, but you can't look at someone and know whether or not they struggle with binge eating at all. I mean, there are a lot of people on YouTube who do these 10,000 calorie challenges consistently. And essentially, they're regularly binge eating over and over and over again. And it's not something, I really want to make this clear, it's not something to look at and be like, I wish I could do that. It's a problem. It's an issue. And it's a very fixable issue. And I want this message to go to anyone. If you're watching right now and you feel like, oh, he's speaking to me, I am speaking to you. If you struggle with binge eating, if it's something that you're having issues with, if it's something that like you've been hiding, if it's something that you know you need to change, but you struggle with, number one, you can change it. It's not going to be easy, but you can change it. I promise you that. I'm going to put a video in the description, a link to a video I did on how to stop binge eating. I think it can help a lot. Also, I think it's really important to note there are therapists that you can contact who work specifically with disordered eating habits, with binge eating issues. You can contact them. Go on Google, look for someone in your area. And the last thing I want to say is I'm pretty happy I didn't complete the challenge. When I say pretty happy, I mean really happy, because I could have made it into a binge. I could have pushed myself past the point of comfort and done it just because YouTube. I could have done that, but I didn't because it felt good for me to stop, and I knew that was right for me. I think that's really the most important message of all is I don't want to promote binge eating. I don't want to binge eat just for more views. And I don't want you to feel like you have to eat in a way that doesn't sit right with you just because you want to appease other people. You have to do what's right for you. If that means having a slice of pizza, have a slice of pizza. If that means doesn't having a slice of pizza, don't have a slice of pizza. But whatever is right for you is what's right for you, and you really need to listen to your heart and to your mind and figure out what is best for you in any given moment. And if you can do that, and if you can stay consistent, your success will be far above and beyond what even you could probably ever imagine. I hope you liked the video. If you don't subscribe, please do. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, or give it a thumbs down if you think it sucked. Either way, I appreciate you. Talk to you soon.